Hello everybody and welcome to Gene's Reviews from a regular dude, where I do trailer reactions, I react to YouTube videos, I review YouTube channels, occasionally I'll review a movie, but really, I just do whatever the hell I want.
White with red. A man went into a hotel and walked up to the front desk to check in. The woman at the desk gave him his key and told him that on his way to his room there was a door with no number that was locked, and no one was allowed in there. Especially no one should look inside the room under any circumstances. So he followed the instructions on the woman at the front desk and went straight up to his room, went to bed. The next night, his curiosity would not leave him alone about the room with no number on the door. He walked down the hall to the door and tried the handle. Sure enough, it was locked. He bent down and looked through the wide keyhole. Cold air passed through it, chilling his eye. What he saw was a hotel bedroom like his, and in the corner was a woman whose skin was completely white. She was leaning her head against the wall, facing away from the door. He stared in confusion for a while. He almost knocked on the door out of curiosity, but decided not to. This disinclination saved his life. He crept away from the door and walked back to his room. The next day he returned to the door and looked through the wide keyhole. This time, all he saw was redness. He couldn't make anything out besides a distinct red color, unmoving. Perhaps the inhabitants of the room knew he was spying the night before and had blocked the keyhole with something red. At this point, he decided to consult the woman at the front desk for more information. She sighed and said, "Did you look through the keyhole?" The man told her that he had, and she said, "Well, I might as well tell you the story. A long time ago, a man murdered his wife in that room, and her ghost haunts it. But these people were not ordinary. They were white all over, except for their eyes, which were red." The Enfield Horror. On the night of April 25th, 1973, a little boy by the name of Greg Garrett was playing in his backyard in Enfield, Illinois, when he was attacked. Not by a person or an animal anyone had ever seen before. To this day, nobody knows what it was. But it tore his shoes to pieces and left him in tears. Local resident Henry McDaniel opened his front door after hearing a light scratch and got a good look at what would come to be known as the Enfield Horror. Greg and Henry's descriptions were pretty much exactly the same. The horror was short, no more than 1.5 meters or 5 feet, and it had 3 legs. Yes, 3. It also possessed short, stubby arms, ending in claws or talons that seemed to be placed in the center of its body rather than at its sides. It was hairy yet slimy, and had reddish pink eyes the size of flashlights. Just minutes earlier, Henry's children had insisted that a monster of some kind had tried to break into the house while he and his wife had been out to dinner. He laughed it off at first, but upon seeing this thing on his porch, Henry slammed the door and went directly for his gun. Henry ripped open the door and fired 4 shots. He was sure he hit it on the first, and he said the thing hissed like a wildcat before bounding away, covering 25 meters or 75 feet in a few powerful leaps. He immediately called the police, and over the next few days, several more sightings were reported by the searchers, sheriff's deputies, even a radio station news director and his crew. Henry also saw it once more a couple weeks later out of his window as it wandered near some railroad tracks. And then it was gone. Whatever it was. It hasn't been seen since. And let's hope it stays that way. Altered. This is a short write-up for me as I don't really have too much time. This is more so a message for future generations who have any sanity left in this world. You've been living under a rock, my friends told me. It's just a painless shot. Get over it, you baby. My siblings teased me day after day. Well, look now. I'm probably, at least to my knowledge, the only normal person left on Earth. You see, about 5 or so months back, the government started offering these free shots. Said they would increase brain performance, make you run faster, jump higher. Hell, I even heard someone say it was like steroids, but better. The first few months of testing went well. Everyone was receiving their benefits, telling me how I should get one. I declined. I was always wary of the government, a superstitious man, as they call it, but I suppose even the greatest achievements of mankind has its downfall. I noticed the patterns in those who received it. More recommendation, more ads online. I couldn't avoid the shot. I moved out of my apartment to hide from whatever my friends and family became. They're evolving even more now. The news, and henceforth the government, keep quiet about it. I haven't been out there for the past week. I keep hearing claws scratching on my door. It sounds like my father speaking to me. Come out, champ. Everyone's doing it. But I know it isn't him. I need to make this stop. The scratches keep going, going, and going. I need to put an end to this. I'm grabbing the shotgun. November 9th, 1952. Document edited for Alabama County Psych Ward patient. Permitted to treatment. Subject would get some help out of it. Appears to believe that new life-saving drug is somehow evil. Update. They're holding me captive. Please, to anyone reading this, anyone, don't trust them. I can only hear their demented language. It sounds like I somehow committed manslaughter. It's all a lie, though. They're just trying to brainwash me. I'm not insane. I'm not insane, I swear. The Hellbound Heart. On March 16th, 1995, Terry Cottle shot and killed himself in the bathroom of the home he shared with his wife Cheryl. There had been an argument. There had always been arguments. And Terry had threatened himself with a gun just months before. Cheryl heard the shot from the other side of the door after watching her husband enter the bathroom with a .22. She heard him gasp, "Help me, I'm dying." And then he was gone. He fired one single round into his brain. The only possible silver lining was that Terry, 33, had been in good physical condition and an organ donor. Terry's heart saved the life of 57-year-old Sonny Graham, who had contracted an incurable virus of the heart a year earlier. In 1996, Sonny wrote a letter of appreciation to Terry's widow, and through the donor procurement agency had advised against contact. They decided to meet, and when they did, Sonny fell instantly in love with the widow of the man whose heart now beat in his chest. I felt like I had known her for years. I couldn't keep my eyes off her, Sonny told a local newspaper in 2006. They were both married at the time, but within a few years, both had divorced, and they moved in together in 2001. It was a rocky relationship, just like Cheryl and Terry's had been, but they eventually married in 2004. 4 years later, with no indication that anything was seriously amiss, Sonny's life ended the same way Terry's did. Suicide by gunshot. The heart that had beat on for 12 years of borrowed time finally stopped beating for good.
Thank you, everybody. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hashtag Mean Gene, all that fun stuff. And if you like this video, tell all your friends, leave a comment down below. And if you didn't like it, then just shut up. And I will see you next time.